Welcome to Empower Hour, your go-to podcast for all things disability and independence, brought to you by Empowerabilities, your disability and aging experts. I'm co-host Afton Harper.
And I'm Juli Jordan. Listen in as we dive into real stories, resources, and meaningful conversations that empower individuals with disabilities to live life to the fullest.
Whether you're tuning in for advocacy, inspiration, or practical tips, you're in the right place.
This is Empower Hour, because independence isn't a destination, it's a journey.
I want to take a minute to tell you about some of the services we offer here at Empowerabilities. We're all about helping people with disabilities live as independently as they want. That could mean helping someone find housing, navigate Medicare, get connected with benefits, or learn skills for daily living. We offer individual case management, advocacy, peer support, and information and referral. Basically, we help people find what they need and figure out how to get it. We also have home modifications, like ramps, grab bars, or walker steps, plus assistive technology, recycled medical equipment, and if you need a hearing aid, we can help with that too. Everything from evaluations to repairs. And for those who need a little extra help at home, we offer consumer-directed services and veterans-directed care, things like transportation and meal prep, housekeeping and personal care. But it's not all services and paperwork. We also host social clubs, support groups, and community events, so people can connect, have fun, and build relationships. Because independence doesn't mean isolation. So if any of that sounds like something you or someone you care about might be interested in, give us a call or check out our website at empowerabilities.org. We're here to help, and we love what we do.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Empower Hour, where we're bringing you great information from Empowerabilities. Today, we have two great guests with us. We have Tina Shannon and Sara Nunez, and we're going to talk about consumer-directed services. Always a great topic here at Empowerabilities.
So, Sara, can you tell us a little bit about what consumer-directed services is and who that might be helpful for?
Sure. So CDS, or Consumer Directed Services, is a program who helps people who need support in their home, and they are able to manage their own care. So they're able to choose who they want to help them in their home, which gives them control and independence in their daily lives.
So you talk about who. So tell us who the who are. Who benefits from or who might use CDS services?
Yeah, so just people who are needing a little more assistance with their daily activities in their home, bathing, dressing, cooking, housekeeping. It could be people with disabilities, seniors, or just anyone who really wants to stay in their home, be more safe, and hire someone of their choice to help them with those tasks.
And this is all to help keep them out of nursing care, basically, right?
Yes.
Helping them stay independent and at home. And that's someplace that we all want to remain, stay at home. I remember interviewing a lady not too long ago, but her famous quote was, "I love my home. I love my home." And it was just the sweetest interview. The services that she received just helped her stay there, and she was so happy. So what are some of the ways that CDS can support someone at home? Or can you think of some ways that people have really benefited from that program?
Yeah. A lot of times it's whatever help is needed, but caregivers can assist with meal prep, running errands, their personal care, and shopping. What's neat about shopping is on this program that you can actually go shopping with your caregiver. So they don't have to run errands for you. You can be a part of that task, which is very important.
Yeah, that's much different from like nursing care specifically, where you're more involved in your own care rather than someone doing something for you then.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of helps you be a part of your own plan, basically, your daily plan. But other than that, it gets people out of the house. I mean, sometimes they may not have other means of transportation to go anywhere. So it may seem small, but a little outing to the grocery store can really mean a lot and do some great things for somebody's mental day, just to get out of the house for that short time.
what does that process usually look like for someone who wants to get started with CDS? Tina, if you want to.
Yeah, so first there's an assessment to figure out what kind of support the person needs. And then they would get information about the program and can decide if CDS feels like a good fit for them. And then after that, the person can start choosing who their caregiver is going to be and making a plan that fits their lifestyle.
So when you talk about they can choose who their caregiver can it be anybody?
There are some requirements with this program, but pretty much, yeah, it could be a loved one. It can be a family member. It can be a friend, a neighbor.
And what if they don't have somebody in mind?
We would help them through that process to give them some tips and tricks on how maybe they can find somebody.
Okay.
So who most commonly is a caregiver for someone? Is it usually like a sister or a cousin or?
We've seen all different types of dynamics. A lot of times I think probably a big part of the time it's going to be a child that maybe is helping mom or dad out, or like you said, a sibling that's been helping their family member, and the family member that's getting the help wants to be able to pay them to give them some sort of compensation for coming in and helping them out.
Yeah, so it almost helps ensure that sense of dignity for the person who's getting that help. They get a chance to have that power to be able to manage their care. And
Right. Yes.
And the unique thing about this program is that people that are already doing the task, caring for your parents is something, I've been through myself. I did not know about the CDS program. I did not know you could get paid. I don't know that I would want to have been paid, excuse me, to do that for my mother, but the option is there, and people who are taking care of their loved ones, why not get paid for it?
Yeah, this is often the first opportunity that people have heard about that option where you can get paid to take care of somebody you've already been taking care of anyway.
And a lot of times they may be taking care of somebody else, and so if they do have a family member, you're not limited to just one person, correct?
Right.
And what about a spouse? Can a spouse take care of their loved one?
On this program, there is not. You're not allowed to have the spouse take care.
Okay, so it just...
But we urge you to, look into the service anyway. There might be, another program that we have that fits that.
Right.
Are there times when a family member or friend might be able to help out as the caregiver in more of a regular capacity? How often can they help?
Okay, so that we're going to go back to the first part where we talked about the assessment, and the assessment will determine that. So it's based off how the individual answers questions about their condition, about their ability, and what they specifically are needing help with. Sometimes a person might just need help with household chores, and sometimes they need help with everything, like getting dressed and personal grooming and help with their shopping and help with their house. So it really is determined by that assessment.
So in talking about caregivers, what do you think, or who do you think makes a good caregiver? I know you have to have a heart for it, because it is not an easy task, and it's very emotional. It's an emotional road if you've never been down that before. But what skill set do you think makes for a good caregiver?
Well, I think that they have to have a good working relationship with the consumer. Sometimes that is already established because it is a family member or a friend that's already been helping them. But a lot of times it's not. So if they're trying to find a person, maybe they've, put information out there that they're looking for somebody, and somebody has suggested a person, and, they have like a little conversation to figure out if it's a good fit. I think, a good caregiver is just going to be somebody that is really open to listening to what this person's needs are, and be willing to be very flexible and understand that they're working for this person. It is not this person accommodating them.
And I like to point out that the good thing about this program is you're in charge of your own health care. So you're essentially telling your caregiver, your attendant, what it is that you need. Is that correct?
Right.
And how is that different from managed care? Is it basically like, if you're on managed care, they're telling you the services that they think you need? Whereas if you're managing your own, you're basically, you're in charge of your care, and you're determining your own priorities. Is that kind of sum it up good?
Yes.
So how much flexibility do people usually have when it comes to their care and their schedule?
Since they develop the plan of care based upon their needs, a lot of times it's just kind of an estimate of how many hours a day, how many days a week you would need the care. And so that's something that you can just discuss with the caregiver, set up the schedule yourself between the two of you. So it's very flexible.
How do people track the amount of time that they're getting or the hours they're allotted?
When someone joins the program, they will get training on how to track all of that from their case manager. They'll have a case manager who speaks with them monthly, and all of that is set up initially, and then of course spoken as much as they need to about. So the case managers are very good about assisting along the way.
And what happens if you've set your plan of care and your needs change down the road? Is this a flexible program where you can maybe change your priority needs for your caregiver?
Yeah, it's a very simple program to change. You can request less or more time. Sometimes people initially start out and think that they want someone to help them 7 days a week, and then they decide later maybe they want those weekends to, just not have somebody caring for them all the time. So you can just say, I'd rather have a 5-day plan than a 7-day plan, and it's just that easy. You request it, and then the change gets made.
So why do you think it's important for people to have a say in how they receive their care?
One of the hardest things for people is letting go of their independence. And so this is a way for them to continue to remain as independent as possible and still get the care that they need so they can continue to live in their home and not have to go into a nursing facility or have to live with maybe a family member, a situation that's not ideal for them.
And so it sounds like the person receiving care tends to get a lot of say in what that care looks like on a day-to-day basis. And what if they've never had experience in this program? Is there any training that we can help them with as far as feeling prepared on that side?
There is. Sarah already talked about it a little bit, and also we talked about the assessment. Sometimes it takes them getting established and starting on the program, and then working with the case manager to really dig in and figure out what they need. A lot of times people don't want to talk about some of their needs. It's a private thing to them, or maybe it's not wanting to let go of independence. And so sometimes, they may start off with a small, care plan that doesn't really meet their needs. But then after a few months and meeting with a case manager, between the two of them, they might figure out, hey, maybe you might need a little bit more help, and let's work with, trying to get that for you.
Yeah, it's the consumer choice. So it is their choice. It's their choice if they need more time and want more time. It's their choice if they need more time and don't want more time. So that is a nice thing about being able to do it in their own home with someone also of their choice, is that they can make these decisions and should feel more comfortable about discussing them than if they were in like a facility or something where they didn't have as much choice.
So what about those people out there who are already receiving care, maybe not on the consumer-directed services side of things? They're receiving care from whoever, but they're not happy with their provider. What can they do?
Yeah, switching providers is very simple. If you just give us a call, we can discuss, possibly what the concerns are and make sure we may be a good fit, and then we can just submit that request and we can become your provider.
Okay. And I'd like to kind of emphasize here, re-emphasize people who are living at home, they're struggling, maybe they need some help. What is your number one message to those people to consider getting on consumer-directed services? Why should they consider this as an option?
Well, again, I think it's just being able to hold on to that independence for as long as possible. I personally believe that once, things start going downhill, if you don't get some help, it might not get better. But once you start, taking care of some of those just basic needs, then you can start, thriving and going back to enjoying your life and doing the things that you like to do instead of always being worried about how am I going to clean my house? How am I going to get to the store? How am I going to get my socks on tomorrow? Those kinds of things won't be bogging you down because now you've got help that you need.
We definitely have a lot of testimonials of people. It's kind of eye-opening what happens after you do have a little assistance. We also have people who start the program and then don't need it for a while, and then can come back. So there's the benefit of that. It doesn't have to be permanent. Maybe,
So maybe somebody going through a rehab period or something like that might need a little extra help just to get them through that stage.
Yeah.
So if someone was interested in joining the Consumer Directed Services program here at Empower Abilities, how can they reach out and get started?
Yeah. You call us here at the office and just say that you're interested in consumer directed services would be one way. We also have a website that is another way to reach out to us. You can inquire on the website and someone will get back with you, and you'll get to talk to somebody who just speaks about everything it is that you're needing and talks about how to get qualified.
Okay, let's throw those numbers out there. Our telephone number is 417-886-1188, and our website is empowerabilities.org. You can also follow us on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on, what else, Afton? Instagram, LinkedIn. We're out there, and we want people to call us. We want people to know us because we are here to help, and we're here to make your lives easier. We want you to live your best life possible. All right. Anything else to add, girls?
I don't think so.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Empower Hour, and we look forward to bringing you another great episode next month.
Thanks for listening. If you have any episode ideas or questions, feel free to email us at marketing@empowerabilities.org. You can feel free to listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Visit our website and get involved.